Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for taking time to join in. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. This morning I have Carolyn. Carolyn's with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to Carolyn over there at Atlas Trax. Good morning, Carolyn.
Well, good morning, Riscala, and to all the listeners on this beautiful Sunday.
It is a, I don't know, how do you describe beautiful? We're looking at overcast and showers, and what else have we got going on? It looks like there's some disturbed weather just to the west of us this morning, and, to the east of us, moving to the west, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty crummy day. For going outside and enjoying outside. We have small craft warnings are in effect right now. The beaches have a strong chance of rip currents. You got to be cautious about that. It is definitely cloudy. I'm sure it's where you're at too as well, right? Cloudy?
It's very cloudy. I'm looking out the window. I see a lot of the palm trees moving around, and we were supposed to be heading out fishing this morning, but seas are about 5 to 7 where we were headed out. So we laid low, but so far so good.
Now there is a small craft advisory is in effect, and that is in effect until Monday evening. So if you've got a smaller craft, be aware that small craft advisories are in effect. You can always fish the backwater. There's a lot of intercoastals. We have lots of areas in the backwater you can go fish and not be affected by them. Of course, you may not do as well, but hey, you get to go fishing. What the heck, If you're planning on going to the beach today, it's probably not a good day to go to the beach. It looks like it's going to be some severe rip currents going on in the beach. The waves are going to be breaking 2 to 3 feet, they're calling. So it's just not going to be one of those better days to go to the beach, sadly. Let's see, what else we got going on? We have a coastal flood advisory in effect until Monday, until 8 o'clock Monday evening. It appears that with this weather that's coming over us, there may be areas that get a little bit more water than they need. So just be aware that we do have some coastal flooding advisory going on. According to the map, according to the Wonder Map that I look up every Sunday morning to see what's happening with the weather, looks to be some pretty serious stuff, and it's going to be coming our way. Oh, so much fun. Yeah, it looks like it's coming our way. It looks like some heavy thunderstorms. I don't know about what time they're going to be here, but I would say probably within the next hour and a half, here in Palm Beach, we're going to see a bunch. And it's up and down the state. It runs from about Orlando all the way down to the Keys. That this whole line of, it looks almost like when you get a band from a hurricane. It looks almost like a band from a hurricane.
Wow. And, it's amazing that I just logged on to the beach cams. You know how I like those. And you could definitely see where the water is pulling itself back out like rip currents. And, of course, there's folks swimming out there for exercise right now by themselves. Doesn't really look safe. But it's going to be a little bumpy out there on the water.
Yeah, not a good idea to be by yourself. That's never a good idea. Hope you have a Atlas Trax with you, whoever you are out there. My goodness. All right. Well, did you do any fishing?
We went out on Wednesday. There were some dolphin out front, which for me is very lucky. We'd only have to go about a quarter mile offshore. So the dolphin are running definitely. Some of my customers for Atlas Trax, they were reporting catching a lot of dolphin on Palm Beach Way. Some nice wahoo are coming through. And like I said, we were supposed to get out fishing today, and I'm kind of glad we're not, because we usually have a house guest who we call Tornado Tom, who can come in one night and destroy the inside and the outside of the house with things you couldn't imagine, whether it be fishing tackle and bait and food on the ceiling. He didn't make it in today, so that's why I said it's going to be a beautiful day for me.
You remember Charlie Brown?
Of course.
He had can't think of the character, but wherever he walked around, there was dust flying all around him all the time. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of the guy's name, the character.
Yes.
That's who I'm thinking of when you're describing this guy. Oh my goodness.
Pigpen.
Yeah.
Pigpen. If you can imagine about a 350-pound acclaimed angler, and he is good. He can do everything from sandball to bottom for snapper to wahoo to flying kites. And when he comes in, he brings all his own gear. He rolls in with food he's been marinating in his semi-truck for days, and we don't even want to touch it. And gets us out and fishes really early. But unfortunately, he didn't make it, and fortunately, but I've never met a guy that can get orange soda on a ceiling that's 10 feet tall.
Well, that's what I was. That's what I was imagining in my mind. You're describing this guy. Anyway, that is kind of funny. Oh my goodness. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be a fishing day today. It's going to be a lot of weather coming through, so we'll have to figure out something else to do today. Well, one of the things that you can do today is do the maintenance. One of my regulars, Pam Worth, who is one of the top lady anglers here in Florida, kayak anglers, on days like today, she would say, time to look at the equipment, check your equipment today, make sure that everything's working properly. While you're out there checking your equipment that you love so dearly, that you've worked so hard to earn, make sure you have some kind of a insurance program of some sort that can protect that. Well, one of the insurance programs, if you will, is to put a tracker on whatever that equipment might be, whether anything from an aircraft to an iceberg. I still can't get over that. Anything from an aircraft to an iceberg. You want to protect it? The lady that's with me this morning, my co-host, she's the lady you want to talk to because she has a wide variety of technology that you can use to help track in, like I said, anything from a jet ski to an aircraft to construction equipment to a boat to you name it. There are trackers that are completely 100% self-enclosed, portable, waterproof. It's so small you can put it in your pocket, easily carry it with you wherever you go, put it in a boat, put it in a car, put it in an aircraft. The amount of data that you get back, this is the part that flips me out. The amount of data that you get back when you have one of these trackers and you utilize the app that comes with it, it is, my gosh, it's just overwhelming, really, if you think about it. If you take one of these out in a boat, Carolyn, if I take one of these things out in a boat with me, what are some of the things I can find out when I get back?
Very good question. So if I'm at work and my boat's at home and I start getting emails or texts from my boat, it means that it's actually moving. Chances are pretty good it's been stolen. So I can look right on my phone and I can get, within 10 minutes, a map. I can get a latitude and longitude. I can get a full location, what time of day, and change. I can hand off that information to the law enforcement to start helping me recover the boat. But in a perfect world, if I'm just using the boat myself, I can go back and look at every place I fished yesterday. I can look at my map and figure out what time I maybe bait fished because I could see the speed went slower. I could see if I'm doing circles and loops and fishing zigzags. All the reefs are laid over on the maps. You can go back and look at what time you left, what time you went back, what's your average speed, all kinds of things like that. So a lot of tournament guys will sometimes forget to mark their fish out there. They can go back and look on the maps later on in the convenience of their air conditioning and see that information. I've got a lot of charter boat guys that'll have a couple boats on one map so they can see where both boats are at any time. And what's great for them is they could pull reports. Actually, they can print and see what days the boat moved, how many hours they went, how many miles they went, and know when it's time for their maintenance.
It's amazing how much of the data you get back now. I'm thinking about the aircraft as well. You can put them in an aircraft, and you can get a lot of the same data from what altitude you're flying at, the speed you're flying at, of course the course that you flew. It's just that I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to technology. When it comes to something like this, this is like, I guess I appreciate it because I know what it takes to get this. This is like so much involved in the background. It's today, when you go on a computer and you move your mouse around, I built my first computer in 1985. We didn't have that luxury back then. People don't realize how far the technology has taken us, and it's so easy to be able to do things today. To slip one of these things in your pocket, or if it's in your pocket, and wherever you go, you're going to go on a trip with somebody. You're going to travel somewhere. Slip one of them in your pocket. Your family doesn't have to know, doesn't have to hear from you every half hour or hour. All they got to do is get on the app and look, and they can see where you're at, whether you're moving or you're not moving. Can you take one of these things on a commercial aircraft, do you know?
Well, you can, and it's funny because some folks that do, like for example, when I go out to Colorado to go skiing, I'll often forget to turn my tracker off, and you'll see it going into the cargo bay of the aircraft. You'll see it right on the runway if you look at a satellite map. It won't track in the air, but as soon as your luggage comes right back out at the original, where you arrive, you'll see Trax right, in Denver Airport or things like that, which is pretty cool. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday. What's so good about the trackers, you can hardwire them, but they're operational without a hardwire. So I had a customer come to my house yesterday with his trailer. He is a traveling tackle salesman, and he is worried about someone stealing his trailer. We put a solar tracker right on top. It's going to continually charge. He can drive anywhere he wants, and now when he goes to the Keys or Pensacola, he doesn't have to worry about somebody stealing this trailer out of a hotel parking lot. And he came right to my house, and we got him all rigged up in 5 minutes or less.
Now, you just said something. See, I'm always learning with you. A solar tracker. I don't think we've talked about that before. What is that?
Yeah, so that's a brand new tracker that we have. It never needs to have the batteries changed. It continually recharges itself with the sun. And people use it in a few different ways. It's about 6 inches by 3 inches. So it can be permanently mounted outside on a bigger boat or a trailer, horse trailer, some construction trailer, or it can be charged, Riscala, in about an hour and then hidden covertly in a boat for about 300 or 400 messages, which are moving messages. Mm-hmm. Then the client can just take it right back out and charge it up again and hide it back in the boat. But we really brought that to the table for, equipment, bigger boats, get us into the bigger boat market. And those captains and owners don't even have to worry about changing the batteries like they do in the little smaller tracker. So those are really becoming popular for us, and instant installation, which is the same as the little tracker that you've seen, the little 2-inch by 3-inch mini Trax. Mm-hmm. And I'm even more excited to say that we actually just printed our first plastic prototype of even a smaller tracker that we're going to be testing next week.
Wow. It is the technology is amazing. The other side of this is that, as you'd have to be sleeping under a rock to not realize that the majority of the small businesses out there are hurting today. And Carolyn is a small business as well as I. We can use all the help that we could find with regard to doing more business and providing more services. One of the reasons that I promote small businesses is when you're dealing with a small business, typically they look at you almost as an extended part of the family, because in a way you are. That's what you're doing. You're supporting them to support their family. You're not buying from a large corporation that helps the CEO buy a third or fourth home, vacation home. You're helping a family literally put food on the table, maybe set up a future for their children in a college or something like that. So it's a completely different scenario, generally speaking, when you're dealing with a small business versus a large corporation. The other advantage is when you're dealing with a small business, the attention to detail to your individuality, which Carolyn kind of mentioned earlier, how somebody came to her office and did the job right there, boom, got it done, got it out of the way, and let them move on. With the larger corporations, when you want to do something like that, well, I don't know, I have to talk to my supervisor, he's going to have to talk to administrator, he's going to have to talk to the area regional manager. When you're dealing with a small business, you get an answer right away. So some of the things that I want to bring to the light, why would anybody want to deal with a small business? Why would somebody want to buy something from you, Carolyn? What makes you stand out over somebody else?
That's a very good point. And this gentleman that came by actually gave me a 5-minute notice to come to my house.
Wow.
He did I'm in your town, where are you kind of thing, and I was happy to help him. But usually, and I'll tell you from experience, I mean, you get someone that's 24/7. If your boat is overdue late, in the evening or overnight, I'm always answering my phone. I have talked to so many family members at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Their parents are overdue from a fishing trip. We log on the computer together. I teach them how to use the app. I get them to hang up on the Coast Guard because they're on the other phone. I could hear them. So that's a big deal. I work 7 days a week. I am a local fisherman. I have local knowledge if somebody's boat is stolen or somebody's overdue. I'm familiar with the fishing grounds. And I can even tell you some of the products I sell are Global Star, and I'm a dealer. I can't even get them on a weekend to help me with activation questions on some other trackers we sell, and they're my main competitor. So that's a big thing. When do most people make phone calls? On the weekends.
Yeah.
When do most people have overdue
After
family
hours.
members? On the weekends.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's typically after business
It's a real
hours.
big deal.
And this is one of the reasons that I promote small businesses, because they know how important a customer is. And so they will do what's necessary. Generally speaking, again, doesn't mean every one of them, but I'm making a general statement that most of us realize that our customers are literally our bread and butter, and we've got to take care of them. So whenever possible, whenever you have the option to choose between a small company and a large corporation, consider someone like Carolyn, who has, how many years you've been doing this, Carolyn?
Oh, good question. So the official birthday of this company, Atlas Trax, will be October 25th of this year. Will be 5 years.
Wow.
So I'm pretty proud that we've grown to well over 2,000 trackers in so many industries in that time frame. And, I even, to be able to accommodate everybody, I've even picked up some competitive trackers that are more for land-based tracking. And I had a situation the other day where a guy wanted not Atlas Trax, but this other product, and he could go to West Marine and buy it for the same exact price. And I asked him, please, I said, I need the business. I'm a local woman-owned business, and same price. And wouldn't you know, he went to a big box West Marine and bought the product. And I probably told him how disappointed I was. And I would have given him to 24/7 service.
That is, it's a loss for you. It's a loss for him, because they have basically turned their back on the opportunity to be able to have someone who is there for them if and when they need them. The big box guys, you ever called one of them? Have you ever dealt with any of these corporations? Call one of these ISP providers. I don't want to say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. They're big names out there. Call one of them one time. You're having a problem with your television, your stations coming in, call that company and see how long you're on the line. And it's rare if it's a 15-minute call. I'll put it to you that way. It takes some time, and not always do you get the answer that you need. That's the other. See, this is the advantage of doing business with a small. Carolyn knows everything about her company. So if you have a question about her company, she doesn't stop. Well, let me go ask so and so, or I'll get back to you. She has it. It's there in her head. It kind of reminds me of this this justice that's going before the court that they're voting on Amy. She holds up a blank piece of paper. Why? Because she knows it. She knows it forward and backwards. Same thing with Carolyn. She knows it forwards and backwards. She breathes it. She eats it. So when you're dealing with somebody like this, you have your answers. It's like, it's rare. I've asked Carolyn, I don't know, she's been with me as a co-host for quite some time. And before she was a co-host, she was a guest. I can't imagine how many different questions I've asked her. She's always been able to provide an answer, always.
And you know what's so cool about what we do too is a lot of these trackers, all these trackers have to be hand programmed. So we can take them and custom make them. So if you tell me you want messages from your horse trailer at 8 in the morning and 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I could set the trackers up that way. If you tell me your aviation, I'm going to have you your tracker every 2 minutes because that's just faster speed. If you tell me you want to just know if it leaves a certain area, city block, we can make a visible fence. So the customer only knows if it leaves. So you can't get that from a retail outfit. And we work, and each one of these is a solution. It's not just a tracker. It's a solution to somebody's tracking problem, or if they're worried about a family member, they want to just put a tracker. I have a woman that put a tracker in her daughter's diaper bag for her first grandbaby. So it's just, it could be anything. And we have the plug-and-play vehicle trackers now. Those are perfect for construction, for contractors. And they could tell the clients, hey, we're 10 minutes away from your house now. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Like all of the technology, especially with COVID.
It's amazing.
You want to keep a track of your guys. Are they working? Are they at a movie theater? So many different things. And golf, we're doing golf carts. What other crazy stuff? Jet skis, snowmobiles. I think we have a couple helicopters, a couple older folks that fly their own helicopters, and their family wanted to be able to track them.
Wow. And it's just like never ending. The application is never ending. You have something that you care about, then this is the lady that you want to talk to, because you can have an insurance policy on it, but you can have an insurance program they're hand in hand. In my experience, what I've learned is if something happens, if somebody decides that they want whatever you have more than you do and they take it, the faster you get it back, the higher the odds are you get it back in the shape it was when they took it. The longer that it takes, the less the odds are that you're going to get it back without some kind of serious damage done to it. And with a tracker, being able to literally track this, whatever it may be, within 10 feet on the planet, to be able to call the police and go, look, somebody just stole my car, and I can tell you right now they're moving at such and such a place, and be able to give them that information, they should be able to reach that vehicle within an extremely short period of time. The faster they can get to it, the less, hopefully, the less damage that's done to it. The longer that person has it, typically we had a big problem here in South Florida that I wasn't aware of. That was boats being stolen. And a lot of times they would steal the boat, not for the boat, but for the equipment on the boat. So you could put one of these trackers on your piece of equipment on your boat, because they steal the boat, and then as soon as they get the boat away somewhere where they can work on it, they take the motor off, or they'll take the electronics out, or something of that nature. So you need to be able to respond quickly. Otherwise, and this is something else I was ignorant about, some of this equipment is into the thousands and thousands of dollars. So one of the guests that comes on, which I think he's going to be on today, is $5,000 and $6,000 they had stolen off of their boat. No way to track it. Well, there is now. There's a way to be able to do that. Not only that, but you can. What am I thinking of? It's a secondary application, and that's the alarm. Yeah, a secondary.
Yeah, the alarm is awesome because it can be made real fancy to go on a boat. It's got door sensors. It has canvas snap sensors, which are if somebody takes your canvas off to start stealing their electronics, the siren go off. And also we have a really thin 60-foot cable, and that can be wrapped around the engines, fishing gear. So if anybody cuts or breaks that cable in your yard or in a boat storage facility, a siren goes off. So as a $500 deterrent, it's amazing. So hopefully that scares them away before they try and take it. And they're pulling into yards, Scala, I heard of, with trucks and cutting the transoms off of the boats with the engines on them and letting the engines drop it right in the back of the truck, and they take off. So they're even doing that kind of stuff, which is crazy.
That's brazen.
Here's something else I was thinking about that happened. So we all remember Superstorm Sandy up in New Jersey, right? So a lot of my customers had to abandon their homes. And one customer in particular, he sent me a thank you letter after that and said the only way he knew his boat was still there and he was able to find his boat after all the houses were destroyed was because of our tracker. Wow. And that was pretty powerful. So even now during hurricane seasons, another reason, if you've got to move your boat or you've got to leave your home, you can check on your boat daily, make sure it's exactly where it still was.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax. She's so generous with her time. She's been my co-host for quite some time now. And we've been talking about Atlas Trax. If you don't know, if you're just tuning in, you don't really know what we're talking about when it comes to Atlas Trax, you can find Atlas Trax on the web. It's ATLAS, S like Sam, TRAX, Atlas Trax. atlastrax.com. You can find them on the web, and you can get a lot more information there. And there are a wide variety of ways for you to help you protect what you love to the max. Who else is going to do it? It's Atlas Trax. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Schol Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. I am your host, Riscala. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me. Carolyn is the lady you want to talk to. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to look at Atlas Trax because they will provide a solution to the challenges that you present to them. I haven't found one that she hasn't been able to help with yet. A big thank you to our home network, WCET FM. There's a couple of different ways you can listen to our show. The easiest of all of those ways is to download our app. It's absolutely free. Here's the thing about our app that makes it different from the majority of the other apps that are out there. There is no spyware, there is no adware, and there are no push notifications. It's just a way for you to listen to our network. Depending upon when you tune in, if you will be dependent upon the show that you hear. Again, it's free. There's no catches. It's one of the few things that you can get. There's really no catches. It's just a way for us to make it easier for you to listen to all the different shows that we have on the WCET network. Another way you can listen to us, if you're a Facebook fanatic, you can go into our Fishing in Florida show on Facebook, click on Contact Us, and that connects you to the live server. And, of course, if you're on the web, you can go to WCET FM, and we have a player there. If you have the TuneIn app, which is popular with some people, one of our affiliates, Marina Rock Radio, big thank you to them, by the way. Big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. They are Yacht Rock's sister station out of Miami. If you have the TuneIn app, you can just go to Marina Rock Radio, another way that you can listen to us as well. So we try to make it easy as possible for people to listen to the show. They can join in the fun and hopefully learn a little bit. Spend a Sunday morning with us. You're sitting around having some coffee, maybe looking at the newspaper or watching something on the internet and having us in the background. I'm always learning. I just learned something again this morning. I didn't realize that Atlas Trax had a solar Atlas tracker. You never have to worry about batteries. How's that for cool? The technology is just amazing to me. All right, so let me welcome back my co-host, which is Carolyn. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Thank you, Scala. I always love hanging out with you on Sunday.
You're so sweet. And I have Mike Lindl. Mike is with the King of the Glades tournament. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Riscala. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Michael. Happy Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, where are
I'm
you?
actually taking. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm actually at my house. I fished a couple big tournaments last weekend, and I got a tournament coming up this coming weekend that I'll be up in Yeehaw Junction for 3 days. So I'm looking forward to that.
So for those who are not familiar with Mike, Mike does a lot of backwater fishing. He's primarily, is it fair to say freshwater?
Yeah, it's mostly freshwater, Lake Okeechobee, the Everglades, Kissimmee Jane, and everything in between. So yes, I'm a freshwater guy.
And this is another one that I've learned a lot from. I'm very ignorant in certain ways. So I always thought because you're going to be fishing in the backwaters and in the freshwater and stuff like that, the fish, they're not like saltwater. You don't pull in 100-pound, well, you can, but generally speaking, you don't pull in 100-pound fishes. They're 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. So I've always thought that freshwater fishing would be relatively light lines. No, I was wrong. What kind of line do you use, Mike, when you're out there fishing?
Actually, last weekend on Okeechobee, I actually found some hydrilla, which is kind of unheard of on the lake right now with all the spraying. But I found some hydrilla. I was throwing a large topwater bait on 50-pound braid, and I ended up finishing like 19th out of 145 boats, and should have finished second. But I had 2 5 to 7 pound bass eat my bait and dive down in the hydrilla, and I just couldn't turn their heads in time. And that's the reason for the 50-pound braid is, when they hit around the cover and the grass and stuff, you got to be able to turn their heads real quick, because once they get down in that stuff, they're gone.
Wow. Carolyn?
I was going to say, what's an average size fish at this time of year?
Actually, this time of year, they're starting to go in transition. They're starting to think about the spawn. We're actually waiting on a couple cold fronts to really push them up in the shallows. But, for example, Mikey Queso won the tournament last week with 25 pounds on Okeechobee, pitching the outside reed lines, catching the females as they were coming into the shallows, because they're going to start feeding heavy before the spawn. But up at Headwaters, the new STA area, though, they opened up off of Yeehaw Junction. There was bass caught there yesterday, almost 13 pounds, and she had no row in her at all. So if she would have been rowed out, she probably would have went 14, 15 pounds. So they're starting to move into shallows. They're starting to thinking about spawning. The Everglades, the water levels are extremely high right now in the Everglades. So we need a couple cold fronts to push them out, push them back into the flats and get them concentrated in certain areas to where you could target them. But you start in December, you're going to start seeing some really big bass being caught from the spawn. There was a lot of good bags caught on Okeechobee. The water levels around 14 feet. Wesley Gall and Brian LaFarbe had over 20 pounds. There was just a lot of 20-plus pound bags caught on the lake last week. It doesn't mean the lake is healthy. It just means that with the water levels being high and the fish starting to move in to feed for the spawn, you're able to get to, whatever grass is available up there. You're able to go back further and get them to bite because of the water levels. But I did hear, Brian Mast or whatever his name said, he wasn't going to pump east or west. He was going to send it south. And then, unfortunately, last week they announced that they're going to be forced to send some water to the east and west coast. And hopefully it doesn't, with the cooler weather, it doesn't give it, there shouldn't be an algae bloom of any type, but we'll see.
Do you find that because the water level is higher, in your experience, is that good or bad?
Before the spawn, it's bad because the fish are really scattered out. On the lake, it's actually good because you're able to get to areas you weren't able to get to. And even though the water's high, you're still only fishing 2 foot of water. Mm-hmm. But down in the Everglades and most other places, the fish are scattered right now. But once the couple cold fronts push through in a full moon, they congregate into sandier bottom, rockier bottom areas of the backwaters, and you're able to target, good quality fish. Right now, they're just scattered.
What part of the state are you in right now?
I'm in Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Okay, so you're south of me. So you're seeing it's going to be a pretty sloppy day today. You got any plans on going out?
Not today. Next weekend, like I said, I'm heading up to Yeehaw Junction. There's been 5 or 6 of my fellow tournament anglers go up there pre-fish already, and everyone had over 20 pounds. So up there's a whole other ball game. The waters are, it doesn't matter if they're shallow or high or not, there's really nowhere for the fish to go. So they're there year round.
Wow. When you mentioned earlier about the 50-pound test and you had thrown a topwater lure, is this typically what you're doing when you're out? And by the way, how big is the lure that you're throwing?
I throw the Zara Super Spook, which is, I would say, at least 8 inches long. It's the largest, one of the largest spooks available. I actually throw a saltwater series spook in freshwater. I change the hooks, put a feather tail on the back, and the 50-pound braid, it doesn't only get the fish, out of, away from the cover, but when you're working the lure, it actually gives the lure a tighter snap. Walking the dog action, it actually makes it walk a lot better because there's no give in the line.
How is it for casting? And you don't have any problem casting with a 50-pound?
If I freshly spooled if I had a big enough reel with 50-pound braid, I could probably hit your house from my house. Honestly, it casts a mile. I could cast a Super Spook a mile with my bait casters.
Okay, so this has been my experience when I got into like higher tensile strength, like you're talking about, 50 pound, 60 pound, 70 pound. It always seems to remember. I get it on a spool. I guess, but that's the only way I know you can get it. Right, it's on a spool. So it seems to want to remember that it was on a spool. It seems to want to remember that it was in that size of that shape, whatever that is. Do you run into that with what you're doing?
I've never had an issue with that. I've thrown a variety. I'm not really sponsored by any line company, but Goat Rope from BassAddictionGear.com or Fitzgerald Braid from Fitzgerald.com. I've used them all, Power Pro, all of them. I've never had I have more of a memory issue when I'm fishing the deep water lakes in Central Florida with fluorocarbon than I do with braided line.
Yeah, because I think this was fluorocarbon is what I was using. This is years ago.
Fluorocarbon tends to have a really high memory, but you could take care of that by like tying your line to a tree, walking it out, and pulling it tight, and then reeling it back up.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done where you put you run it through a piece of wood that you kind of zigzag it through a piece of wood, and it creates tension, and you can reel it in that way. I've tried a couple of different ways. A lot, and it's fluorocarbon that creates that problem. So you don't have that memory issue when you're dealing with braid, from what I understand.
No, you don't have no memory issue when you're dealing with braid or mono. You have it after time when it sits on your reel too long. It kind of makes a memory. Fluorocarbon, I use Sniper, and I have issues, but not very often.
That's interesting. And so do you have to, I know if I were using 50-pound mono, for example, I would have to have quite a bit of weight to be able to cast it. Don't you have to have?
Well, I use 50-pound braid because it has a diameter of like 12-pound test.
Wow.
If I'm throwing mono, I throw when I throw the Bruiser Baits Big Nasty 14-inch worm and I'm fishing ledges down deep, I'll throw it on. People laugh at me because it's an old school line, but trust me when I say I've got a lot of big fish on it that just don't break. Is the 17-pound Cajun Red. That's probably the highest I go on mono. I'm throwing 14-pound fluoro up in Central Florida. But I only use the braid when I'm actually fishing, bringing stuff through lily pads, working around hydrilla, so down in the Everglades. You gotta have braid in the Everglades. A lot of guys will put a fluoro leader on their braid if they want to work baits on the outside edges and stuff, but in general, I use a variety of line.
I didn't realize that dealing with the braided stuff, you're saying it's about the diameter of a 12-pound test? At 50 pounds?
Yeah, yes. The 50-pound braid is a very small diameter compared to like if you were using 50-pound mono. It doesn't even come close. 50-pound
Wow.
mono would be a lot thicker.
Wow. See, I'm always learning. I hear Carolyn's back there. Go ahead, Carolyn. You got a question?
Yeah, my brain is working. So with the braid, Mike, how often do you have to actually respool your reels?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, me, I'm a bad boy. You know, I'll go out there and I'll throw my big spook, and if it goes flying off or I lose a big fish or something, and I look at my line and it's faded out, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's time to change. But most tournament anglers, you know, because they're usually sponsored or get a discount on it because braid is expensive, that they'll probably change every 6 months.
Got it.
And
I know we're using a lot of the braid mono combo out here when we're doing the offshore fishing too, and you know, depending on who you talk to, depends on how much they want to use and what rigs they're putting on. And I think we change about once a year because we're not avidly fishing those reels as much as obviously you guys are.
Right, and so my son-in-law's a captain on a saltwater boat out of Hollover, and he goes through. He buys 3,000 yard spools of 80, 100-pound braid. You know, he does he catches a lot of big fish out there. But how often does he change it? I'm not 100% sure.
I didn't realize that the diameter was so small. You're saying 50 pound. I'm comparing it to like mono or something like that. I'm going, my gosh, you probably have to have 2 pounds on the end. I'm exaggerating. Get it out there. That's amazing. Well, I appreciate your time, my friend. And
I just like to announce that a lot of anglers are gathering up on November 7th on Tamiami Trail. We're going to start on Tamiami Trail and work our way towards Alligator Alley and Sawgrass Park on 27th. But we're actually going out there picking up trash, a bunch of anglers.
Oh,
and
excellent.
If anybody's interested, they can contact Captain Neil Stark at 954-822-1481 if they want to come out and help. But we got a big group of anglers, and we're going to try to clean up some of these rest stops and stuff that people just dump their trash over, out onto the side of the canals.
How sad. But it's great that we have people who care enough to go out and do that. Are you familiar with CCA of Florida? Are you familiar with that?
No.
If you want, I can give you the contact info for CCA of Florida. They put on a tournament that lasts for forever and a day, but one of the categories is picking up trash. They give people credit for picking up trash. So they may work with you on that.
I appreciate it. I mean, we're just, you go out there and you see the beautiful Everglades, and then you get to these rest stops and stuff. And I mean, between the fishermen just throwing their bait little, containers out there and all the garbage that's out there, it's honestly, for me, it's ridiculous. But, we're going to go out there and we're going to try to clean it up, and we're going to try to clean up as much of it as possible.
Well, thank you, my friend. Everybody wins when you're doing stuff like that. That's what I like about it. Everybody wins, and I'm part of everybody. All right, let me let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we're going to take a quick break. Thank you, Mike. Greatly appreciate. Oh, before I go, any of your tournaments coming up?
January 17th, the King Series kicks off in Clewiston. It's a $80 entry. Where that's usually when the spawn kicks off on Okeechobee. So we're looking for some big weights. And we're going to have a lot of fun up there. We're going to give away some Fitzgerald rods and a bunch of other stuff in our free Boaters Appreciation raffle. And it's going to be good times up in Clewiston, January 17th.
Great. Well, once again, my friend, thank you for taking time to call in. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye to you. We'll go to a quick break.
Yeah, Mike, I didn't realize you were such a neighbor. I'm in Deerfield. I would love to get out and do a little bass fishing technique since you're so close. So just stay in touch with me.
No problem. Just have Rascala text me your number. Right now, I just sold my personal boat. I'm waiting on a new one to come in, but unfortunately, because of the virus, it's not going to be here till probably late January. But we'll get out there. It's actually being built in Arizona, and they're kind of shut down right now. So
I'll tell you what, I've got a friend with an airboat down your way. That might be a fun way to bass fish.
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
Have a great day, my friend.
Backwaters. But you guys have a good day. We'll hook up. Maybe we'll even get Rascal out there.
There you go.
Love to.
Talk to you
All
soon.
right,
Take care.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Schol Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Good morning. If you just joined us, we will have archives set up. The archives will be on the Fishing in Florida Facebook page. You can go there and find a link. It's the Fishing in Florida show on Facebook. You'll find a link there to all of our archives, and it'll be anything you've missed, you can find there. This morning, I have Carolyn. Carolyn was with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, who are you going to call? Carolyn, over there at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Well, thank you, Riscala. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, whatever you're doing this morning, that distortion that was happening in the other shows when you were talking is not happening. So whatever you're doing this morning is working.
I'm standing on my head. I have aluminum foil in my ears, and I have on 2 unmatched flip-flops.
Oh, my goodness. I need a good laugh. It helps me wake up. You need that oxygen, kind of help you wake up in the morning, you know? And it's good to,
Absolutely.
good to have a
I was a
laugh.
lifeguard once, and we did that training, so I remember those oxygen tanks.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, a big thank you to WCET FM. That is our home network. Really big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. They are one of our affiliates. They're out of Miami. If you have the TuneIn app, you tune into Marina Rock Radio, you can catch us there. If you are a Facebook fanatic, you can go to our Facebook page and click on Contact Us. The easiest way, really, is to download our app, absolutely free. The reason that you would download our app is, well, one of the reasons, we don't have adware, we don't have spyware, we don't have push notifications. You're not going to get all this stuff incorporated in with the app. It's just a way for you to listen to whatever happens to be playing on the network. So if you go to the Google Store or the Apple Store, you look for WCET FM, you find our app there. All right, let me welcome my next guest. The next guest is another one who puts back to the community, constantly giving back to the community. It's Bruce Marx. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and good morning, Carolyn. How are you two doing?
Good. Happy Sunday, Bruce. Thanks for calling in.
But back at you. If I get cut off, I've been battling this iPhone with the message that says I'm being muted.
Yeah.
if you lose me, I'm still here. I'm just battling the electronic demons here.
No, you were being muted by me. When you come up on my board, I have the capacity of muting people. You were being muted by me because there's some background noise. I guess you may have had your phone on speaker phone or something, and I was picking up.
That was it. That's interesting. We're playing whack-a-mole then, because every time you muted me, I unmuted.
I know.
We were going back and forth.
Yeah, I could see you there. Anyway, well, thank you for taking time to call. And you know what I enjoy about people like Bruce is Bruce could have been a victim, but he decided to be a victor, just like Carolyn. Carolyn she calls herself a cancer survivor. I call her a victor. She's a victor over cancer. Bruce is another one. He's a victor. He could have been a victim, but he decided, nope, not going to go that route. I'm going to be a victor and help everybody else as well in the process of that. One of the things that he has been a vital component of is the rebuilding of the bug light reef. What's the update on the bug light?
I'm not sure the last time we were on where we stood in the project, but I think it may have been that we were waiting for a weather window to have the barge go back out and deploy the remaining reef materials at the site. So right now, as we're speaking, phase 2 of the Bug Light Schol artificial reef project has been completed. And what that means is that we've now got, I think, 4 to 5 separate piles of reef material placed strategically within this 300 by 300 foot box at the reef site. And the reef is in 19 feet of water, and now it's holding a bunch of bait. And it was perfect timing, since with the buzzards that come in from Ohio, that's always been my unofficial commencement of the sailfish season. So it's all good. I'm getting reports back that we're seeing blue runner there, seeing pilchard there, seeing cigar minnows there, and it's been a great success due to everybody's efforts. I mean, I may have spearheaded it, but it takes a community of people to make these things happen. So
I don't want to
take
a
very good thing.
Yeah, I don't want to take the credit away from the others, but it is, had it not been for someone like you who decided to take the time, the effort, the organization to utilize your network of people that you know and your ability to communicate with people. Had it not been for someone like you, that's why I say you're like a vital component of it. You're not the whole thing, but without you, I don't think it would have may not have even gone over. I know it wouldn't have gone over as smooth as it did. And some of the stuff that you moved is just amazing. It's rocks the size of a freaking Volkswagen Bug. Some of this stuff is not small, you guys. We're not talking about pebbles. These are huge pieces of leftover from construction, from digging, from... I just remember that one picture, there was probably 7 or 8 of these things, and they were large. They were easily the size of a small Volkswagen Bug.
No doubt. And you know what's interesting? When you're talking about the fishing community and the network of people, everybody shares a common passion, and everybody shares the desire to simply go out and go fishing.
Amen.
You know what?
Yeah.
And with all the craziness that's going on in the world, and people that sometimes can't get on the same page with certain issues, I find that the fishing issue is something that nobody can argue about, and everybody wants to help with. And as a result, you get phone calls from people. Hey, I got a heavy lifting truck. Hey, I've got a crane. Hey, I know where there's some fad material because we got a construction site going on, and it spreads like wildfire. And as a result, it does become easy. You know, I may be like the job foreman, but all the subcontractors out there who love to fish are calling me, emailing me, and offering up their services. And the folks that may not have the services then offer their money to put into a tax deductible account, and then we have access to that money. So it's been a very fun project to be a part of.
I am truly grateful for, and this is only one thing that this man, it's like I say, this man is amazing. This is only one thing. Something else he hasn't, that I mentioned earlier about the problem that I never realized how big it was. The problem of boats being stolen here. He's been a vital component of that, of bringing that to light and putting a real dent, a serious dent, to the point where, if I'm not mistaken, Bruce, you correct me, I think they arrested a ring of people stealing boats, and they catch them over in Tampa or something like that?
Oh, Rascala, yeah, there's been a couple of rings operating that thought that they were operating under the radar. And then when we started this whole boat watch concept, and I went and spoke with the state attorney here in Miami, and that avenue opened up to the state attorney's office communicating with the police. Before you know it, I learned about this whole network of very dedicated police officers who even go on their personal time to stake these places out. And yeah, all of a sudden, boom, there's a chop shop that gets arrested, or members of the chop shop getting arrested who are going out there at night stealing boats. And it was like a NASCAR pit crew. They get the boat back to their shop. They've got all the power tools, and they disassemble a boat down to the intake seacock, strip it, and then go dump it off in the Redlands, and then sell all the component parts. Well, what used to be a commonplace a couple of years ago, we don't see the boat thefts as much now. And of course, that's a credit to Carolyn's product as well. If you got a tracker on that boat, you get an alert on your phone that it's left the geofence area. We've now got people like Carolyn's whose product is being utilized with the police, and we find those boats before they get stripped. And now we've made it much more difficult for the bad guys to do what they do.
Carolyn?
I was going to say you're absolutely right. And, if it wasn't, luckily we've had very few thefts with my product. And one guy had his boat stolen 3 times.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was in Boat Harbor in the Bahamas, and every time he got it back, even if they took it and laid it up in a cove at 1 a.m, he was able to go get it. And, that's real important stuff. And it's real, Bruce, it's a testament to you and electronics theft rings and the boat theft rings, and just getting out there and meeting with people and law enforcement and legislative people. And that's just what you do in your free time.
Isn't that amazing? I'll tell you, if we had more people like this, what a change this world would be in. My gosh. I mentioned earlier he could have been a victim, but he chose not to be a victim. And what I was referring to, again, I was ignorant. I didn't realize that people could have literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of electronic equipment on their vessels. Well, he was somebody who had quite a hefty theft taken from him, worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And instead of putting his tail between his legs and just going off and being like a lot of other people, kind of minding his own business, well, they got me, I'll just go get another one and, carry on. No. He started an entire Facebook page, and again, put a big dent, made a major move forward. I think, I know that what I'm about to say would not have happened without Bruce's help. And that, what I'm speaking of, is the fact that a lot of these manufacturers were making things like GPSs, but not being to the point where if it gets stolen, there's a big problem with that, anybody could use it. Not being able to lock it down like you lock your phone down, for Pete's sake. Somebody gets your phone, you can lock your phone down so somebody can't use your phone immediately. They weren't willing to do that. And I believe that it was the efforts of Bruce who brought it to light. And now we have what? We have somebody who's willing to do something, right? Bruce, I think you were announcing that somebody was willing to do something.
Yeah, actually, I hounded Garmin to no end, and I opened up that Facebook page about the electronics industry and requesting them to stop the GPS thefts. And I basically said, listen, you guys are a multi-billion-dollar industry, and you've got the technology. And when there's folks like Carolyn that could put this technology into her product, and Carolyn doesn't have the multi-billion-dollar backing, why is it that you guys can't put in things like passcode, pin locks, and geofencing, and tracking? And so little by slowly, we kind of guilted them, got some letters from the community to say, hey, guys, do something. And Fruno, to their credit, was the first folks that did it. And they announced last year at the boat show that they're introducing the pin lock, and then Garmin followed shortly thereafter. So it just takes a
one
lot
of them.
Time.
Yep. It just gets one of them. It just takes one of them to bend, and then the other ones will realize that if we want to stay competitive, then we better do what our competitors doing as well, or provide something similar, something parallel. But I truly believe that had it not been for your efforts, that would not have happened. They would still be providing I don't know, some of these, I found out some of this stuff is like $5,000 for one piece of equipment. It won $5,000. And that's, and it goes up from there. It's not, and not provide you with any, it just doesn't make sense. I'm giving you a piece of equipment that you're going to use to determine where you are when you're on the water, determine where you are, and be able to track you wherever you are. But if that piece of equipment, for whatever reason, becomes missing off of your vessel, you're not able to track that equipment. That is the most, I'm sorry, that's just insane. That's a sorry excuse to me.
And look how easy the PIN code is. I mean, we have them on our phones. You have them on a microwave. You have them on an oven. I mean, how hard could that have been?
Yeah. So thank you for that, Bruce. And I'm sure a lot of other people out there thank you for that, for a really a brave move forward to be able to bring up enough spotlight, I can't think of the right word, to just put it into people's attention and get enough people to respond to these major manufacturers and have them bend. I mean, we're supposed to be a consumer-driven market, right? And the market is supposed to be driven by what the consumer wants, but that's not necessarily what happens until the consumer steps up. And with somebody like Bruce and the ability that he has, that's what happened. We got the manufacturers to bend to what the consumer. There's a long way to go, but this is a start.
Definitely a start, and the PIN codes obviously don't preclude someone from stealing a GPS. But as the word gets out that now all of a sudden perhaps Furuno and Garmin's aren't the best thing to steal because now we're having trouble in cracking the codes to sell them in the black market, that's a first step. And then the next step, of course, is going to be, hey, guys, stop giving us the runaround. Put in the tracking ability on this unit and put in the backup battery that says once somebody cuts the power to the unit, you'll have at least 30 days of backup battery power where that transponder is going to be pinging, and somebody can look on their phone and say, oh, there's my GPS. It's sitting in a pawn shop, or it's sitting in somebody's house, or it's sitting on somebody's boat because somebody bought it already. Once that technology comes in, these folks are going to decide it's better not to steal GPSs because, one, they're going to get caught, two, they're going to get arrested, and three, their life is going to be made miserable. And it's that simple to me.
And deservedly so. They should have decided to, it amazes me when I read some of the stories about what people do, whether they're stealing a boat or the equipment off the boat. They'll go in some of these cases, and when I heard about boat thefts, I thought, well, these are little boats. They come in, they tear off, down the street. They got a little 16, 18-foot boat, and they're barreling down the road. No. Some of these boats are like 32 foot. Some of these boats are miniature yachts, if you will. And they're not barreling off. They're brazen. They're stealing somebody's truck so they can go steal this vessel, this boat, and take it somewhere. These are the only way that I can see that we're going to be able to put a dent in this is exactly what Bruce has been doing over. How long has it been going on, Bruce? A couple of years? 3 years?
A couple of years now. I'm trying to remember when my GPS got stolen. Maybe a little over 2 years.
Yeah, and what a significant change in that short period of time has been made with regard to drastically reducing and bringing to attention what is going on in our industry here and our community. And again, the only way to stop these people is with people like Bruce who put the effort out there and let other people know, bring it to light, have people talk about it. I don't think there was anywhere for people to go who had their boat stolen. There's an actual, what do you call them? Watch group?
The first Facebook page is called South Florida Marina and Boat Watch Group. And then the second page is called Wanted South Florida Marine Theft Task Force. And the task force page is what I started to get the police involved and get the local government officials involved in understanding that they all can do something for the benefit of the community. And certainly the state attorney's office embraced the situation. And then the Miami-Dade Police Department jumped in with both feet and created the task force. So that's now being led by the Miami-Dade Police Department. and they're in communication with a host of law enforcement officers from many jurisdictions. And without getting into details, I can just tell you this, that if anyone reports a boat theft up on one of those pages, there are many officers that see it, and there are many officers that immediately get engaged, and then they start sharing their intel. And you'd be surprised to see how quick they apprehend these people. It's been very interesting to watch.
You know what I think is really cool about this whole thing? You have just given testament to how the government is supposed to work. We the people have this issue, and we need help with it, and the government steps in and begins to help you resolve the problem. That's how it's supposed to work. They're not supposed to create problems for us. They're supposed to help us resolve them. And that, what you just said, is a great testament to how government is supposed to work. We have an issue. We have people who are concerned about that issue. The people who are concerned about that issue have gone to the local government and expressed their concern, and the local government has responded accordingly. That is America, my friends. Thank you, Bruce. That's a great testament to our country.
Oh, it definitely is, and I think that's what I mentioned before earlier. When you're dealing with an issue that everybody can embrace, that's when you see government work. The problem is when we have polarization and various political issues, everybody needs to go their own partisan direction. But on this, like the Reef cause, I had the Coast Guard on the phone, I had U.S. attorneys on the phone, and they all agreed, let's do what we can do to save the Ben Range marker, which was another story in and of itself, because everybody came together and there was nobody in the room that said no. They all said yes, and then there was a plan devised to carry out that yes to fruition. So it's always good to see when people can get together in unity and get something accomplished without gridlock.
Well, you have my deepest respect, my friend. I admire you. You are an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you so very much for what you've done between the Bud Light Schol Reef project, between the electronics that were being stolen, between the boats that were being stolen, and inadvertently because of the trucks. If we can stop the people from stealing the boats, we can stop them from stealing the trucks as well. So a big thank you to you, and I am ever so grateful for you. I'm going to let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we're going to go off to a break. Are you there, Carolyn? Maybe she muted herself out.
Oh, I did. Sorry, I got the Bruce fever. Bruce, thanks for all you do on that the Scholes. I love the post that you keep updating, and keep up the good work.
Thank you both, and have a great Sunday, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, my friend. We'll talk to you soon again. Thanks once more time. I greatly appreciate it.
You got it.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Schol Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning, good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have an archived link set up on our Fishing in Florida page on Facebook. Just go on Facebook, give us a like. That helps us remain relevant in the searches. And you can find a link there to listen to our shows live. If you click on Contact Us, you'll also find a link there to our archives. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax. Carolyn is somebody that you want to talk to. If you have something you want to protect to the max, you've got to talk to my friend Carolyn at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Thank you, Riscala. It's always fun to be here.
And a big thank you to our affiliates, by the way. One of them is Marina Rock Radio. If you have the TuneIn app, you can find us on the TuneIn app if you go to Marina Rock Radio. They are Yacht Rock's sister station. Both of them are out of Miami. You have the TuneIn app, go to Marina Rock Radio. Big thank you to Marina Rock, by the way. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated. Big thank you to our home network, WCET-FM. If you're on the web, you can find us at www.wcetfm.com. You'll find a player there, a whole bunch of stuff on the website that you can look at. Facebook, I've already mentioned, and our app, that's the easiest way. Download our app. No ads, no spyware, no adware, none of that stuff, just a way to be able to listen to the different shows. My next guest is someone I had the honor and privilege of meeting in person a couple of years back at one of the, I can't think of the name of the guy, Jimmy Johnson tournament. The tournament was $1 million, $1 million in prizes, I think it was, one big tournament. And had the honor and privilege of meeting her there and experiencing something for the first time in my life. I'd experienced a product that was just unbelievably good, and for someone like me, that's carrying a lot of weight because it's just something that I don't have a lot of interest in. But when I tasted this, oh my goodness gracious, this was pretty phenomenal. And her name is Carol. So now they're going to confuse me. I have Carol and I have Carolyn. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you, Riscala. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Carol.
Good morning.
You know,
of course,
we like to confuse people, don't we? We actually think it's pretty funny because, I'll speak for myself. I'm always flattered when someone calls me Carolyn because she's a great lady.
Well, a lot of reasons why I love Carol, and not only did I also meet her at the Jimmy Johnson tournament, we've become very good friends, like sisters. We are. I hope you don't mind it. We're both breast cancer survivors. We both fish as captain and co-captain on our Atlas Trax Mermaid Vodka Pink Ladies fishing team. So when we're in the mayhem of a tournament and they say Carol, she and I both run around and look and see what's going on. So it works out pretty good.
It sure does. That Jimmy Johnson tournament where we all met is really a special tournament, and as you said, Riscala, they put out over $1 million in prize money. The Hard Rock Casino is the big sponsor, and we had the honor of sponsoring it the year that we met, which was the year we launched Mermaid Vodka in 2018. But we had fished the tournament. I think that was our third or fourth year fishing it as a team, and we're hoping one year in the near future that the Pink Ladies can get in that tournament and fish it. It's a fun tournament. Jimmy puts on a great show, as you can imagine. He's such a real personable guy, and brings in all kinds of football players. So it's a long tournament. It's 3 days. You have a pro-am and then 2 days of tournament fishing, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a great tournament. I can't speak highly enough about it, and brings in a lot of talent, a lot of really great anglers. They have sport fish. You're on. We're fishing off the dock. My apologies.
Good
my
for you.
Buddy.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, stand by. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We have a live report from Carol. We have a reporter. Carol is on site. She's going to tell us what's going on. Love it.
A little sea trout. We just had a little sea trout on. Anyway, I as you can tell, I have a very attention span of a gnat. Once a fish is on, that's the priority. But, it's beautiful we're over here in Sarasota, by the way.
Wow.
Just beautiful fishing over here. We like to come over and take a little break from the East Coast and usually we're out, like Carolyn, we're all out off of the coast of Pompano and out the Dania Cutoff out that way. And I don't know. The fishing hasn't been doesn't seem to be as good as it usually is over there. I don't know if it's got something to do with the west wind, or I'm sure some of the more knowledgeable captains could fill me in on that. But
you made a good
fishing's always good.
You made a good decision going over to that side of the state this morning, because this side of the state is just a mess. It's a sloppy mess. We've got small craft warnings up over here.
Oh, really?
So you made a good decision.
Yeah, I had the benefit of having a trailerable boat. We have access to quite a few boats. Carolyn's connected us to Rural Captivating, and they've provided us, our team, with really super boats, a 62 Hatteras and a CV. But we have a 23 World Cat that we can pop on a trailer anytime, and we'll take it anywhere. We've been to Everglades City with it.
Nice.
Over here to Sarasota and down to Pine Island. So it's nice to put that little World Cat on the trailer, and I'll tell you what, it may be 23 feet, but it always feels a lot bigger. It's such a stable boat. The World Cat makes phenomenal boats. For anybody who's out there looking, we fish a 23, a 28, and a 32, and they're getting ready to come out with their 40 World Cat center console. They already have a dual console 40 out, but the new 40 center, which will be the largest boat that World Cat makes to date, is coming out sometime right after the Fort Lauderdale boat show.
Well, here's what's awesome is that I had Carol and I were able to run the 32-footer from Pompano Beach all the way down to Key West, and it was amazing. I mean, it was rough seas, and that boat just handled the seas because of the cat construction, and that was an awesome fishing trip. We fished hard for 4 days, Carol?
Oh yeah. Well, we went. We like to work fishing and fun in together because we feel like it's just all a lot of fun. And we fished our way down on the inside, and then when we came back up from Key West after participating in some of the festivities around Fantasy Fest, we fished our way back up the outside. So we had a great time. It was an awesome trip. That's one of the great things about fishing with friends and family, is you just create so many great memories, and you can look back on them and treasure them and look at the photos and remember the ones that got away and the ones that didn't get away.
And then you got the fish stories on top of that.
Right, but I can tell you, anytime you go anywhere with Carol, you're guaranteed a good Mermaid vodka something. And the fact that we've got a Mermaid vodka sponsoring our fishing team, it's an amazing product. You've had it, I've had it. I've got 3 bottles in my closet right now. And Carol is, really pushing hard, especially with COVID, to keep that brand out there in front of everybody. And I'm sure it's difficult, but we appreciate what you're doing with a really good product.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we've had our challenges with COVID like everybody else has, but we're staying strong, and the mermaids are all just ready to go the minute we get the word that, some of the events and fishing tournaments start back up, where we can have on-site activation. We like to say, we like to get liquid on lips. The proof is in the taste. So
it is. It absolutely is. I will testify to that. It absolutely is. If you will take the time to make a small purchase, again, this is a family-owned, locally owned. Everything is done here in the United States that I'm aware of with regard to the manufacture of this vodka. If you take the time to make a purchase, I can promise you this. It will, if not the best, it will be one of the very best that you have ever purchased, that you have ever tasted, that it truly is in a class of its own. How many times do you filter this stuff, Carol?
It's 48 times distilled and 10 times filtered, and we like to proclaim that we are a Florida product through and through. Everything that's in the bottle and the outside of the bottle is all from Florida. Sourced from Florida, from the organic corn that we use from a farm up in Jacksonville to the Zephyr Hills water that we use that gets filtered 10 times. It's all produced in Florida at List Distilleries in Fort Myers. It's a great another family-owned business that if anyone's so inclined, they can go take a tour of the distillery. You can find all the information about Mermaid Vodka, List Distillery, and buy the vodka online if you'd like. If you're not in an area where there's a Total Wine or an ABC or one of our smaller independent retailers, you can order it online. The shipping cost has been reduced greatly, so we're really seeing a big surge in online sales. But we're a Florida company, and we're family owned and operated, and just like Carolyn with her business, we really rely heavily on local support, and that's it's every sale makes a difference. We sell it one bottle at a time.
Yeah, right. And you are investing in their company. When you become one of their customers, it's like making an investment in a small, locally owned, family-owned company. And again, it's putting food on the table. It's providing for a roof over their heads. It's hopefully providing for a future for them. It's not to buy a third or fourth vacation home from one of these large corporations. And in my experience, when you're dealing with a small family-owned company, you get answers. If you have a question, you can typically get an answer really quick. They don't have to talk to somebody who has to talk to somebody who's got to get clearance. You get your answers pretty quick. And these are the advantages. You're going to make a choice. Hopefully, that choice is going to be with a smaller company, for whatever product that might be. Would go with a smaller company, a family-owned, locally owned company. And in this example, Carol pointed out something very quickly, but it's really vital when you think about how things work. Everything in her product is made in Florida. Everything. So when you're buying her product, you're helping support a multitude of different industries here in Florida. You're not just buying a vodka, for God's sake. You're helping. Somebody's got to make the bottle. Somebody's got to grow the corn. Somebody has to do the bottling. Somebody has the distribution part of that. All of it is done in Florida. So I have found that when you deal with a local company, about over 60 cents of every dollar that you invest somehow retains in the local area because it's a locally owned, family-owned business. When you spend that same dollar with a large corporation, that number goes down to just a little over 40 cents. So you're helping the local area and also helping a local company. It's like giving back. You can't find a better win-win situation. So whenever you have the opportunity, like I mentioned earlier, if it's going to be a tracker, consider Atlas Trax. You're going to get phenomenal customer service. If you're thinking about buying a bottle of vodka, consider somebody who everything that goes into that bottle is made here in Florida. So, there's a big push right now. Buy American made. Have Americans putting Americans back to work. You want to help in that? In your own way, it's like I say, when you go to some of these tournaments, you go out and you enjoy yourself in some of these tournaments, and you may have an option of winning a whole lot of money at the same time. When you're buying something like this particular example, like this vodka, you're helping a multitude of industries here in Florida. What better way to help our economy and help people stay at work? And right now, small businesses need all the help they can get. We have been through hell. I'm sorry to use that word, but that really is what we have been through. For people that have a small business, the last 8 months have been nothing but torturous hell. For my particular company, we have been in financial freefall for almost 8 months. That's suicide, for Pete's sake. So we need all the help we can get. And one of the ways that you can do that is make a decision. Make a conscious decision. If you're going to buy a product that's available from a big guy or a little guy, hopefully, prayerfully, you will choose the little guy. You're going to be better off. You'll be happier in the long run. Right, Carolyn? She muted herself again.
No, I'm here.
No. I'm here. And I was going to say that the bottles are so beautifully packaged that I even use them after, and I put in little LED lights, and I use them as table ornaments outside on the patio. The bottling is corked. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Now,
thank you. I've been on boats fishing with Carolyn, and just to speak to the service level that you get with a local company like Atlas Trax, Carolyn doesn't stop. If she needs to track somebody or help somebody locate their watercraft or whatever they have their tracker installed on, sometimes she's got them on horses and horse trailers and jet skis and everything. She's there. I mean, she'll put the rod in the holder and she's taking a call. and I really respect, the way that she does business, because she really stands behind her product, and she's personally invested in the level of service that she provides, and it's very obvious. We have a tracker, and we love it, and we wouldn't go out without it. It's not only a matter of having trackability in the event of theft, but it's also a matter of personal safety as well.
Yeah. So. Safety, it's a peace of mind. How much money can you put on peace of mind? And to me, this is how I see Carolyn's product when we're talking about a personal tracker, the little one that you can literally put anywhere. That's peace of mind. How much money can you put on peace of mind? To me, it's priceless. I think about there were two young boys here a couple of years back that they spent their whole life out on the water. They went out in a little skiff, I think it was a 16-foot or something like that, disappeared. They found the boat later. I think they ended up finding the bodies sometime later after that. I think of that example, if they had something like Atlas Trax, I have no doubt in my mind they would have been found very, very quickly. And most likely, the faster you find it, like I said earlier, the faster you find whatever it is that's missing, the less the odds are any damage is done. Well, I think that they would have found them so quick, they would have been able to recover them very quickly.
And absolutely, and you know what, Rick Scala, with the tracker, and I don't want to ever capitalize on anyone's misfortune, but the parents would have known the moment they went out of the inlet, because they would have been getting messages every 10 minutes. So they wouldn't have got further than 10 minutes out of that inlet.
Wow. Yeah, and a little boat like that, a little boat like that, they wouldn't have gotten very far. So anyway, just an advantage. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Carol, if you're fishing all day, make sure you share some of those pictures for the ladies' page.
Absolutely, especially if we get something good, which we should. They're biting over here. There's lots of bait swimming around, finger mullet and whatnot. So hopefully we'll have some good pictures to send you, Carolyn.
And then one other quick thing: how can people actually purchase Mermaid vodka other than Real Captivating, who's going to put a link on there for your distributor? Where else can they easily get to purchase?
We have a link right on our website, which is mermaidvodkausa.com. You got to put that USA in there. Mermaidvodkausa.com takes you to our page, and right on the home page, you don't have to go digging around looking for it, is a link. Click here, buy now, or get hooked, buy now, excuse me. And you click on that, and it takes you right into the online shopping experience. So it's very easy to buy online. Like I said, the shipping costs have gone way down, which has been a great benefit now that I guess with FedEx and the UPS vendors that we use, they're doing so much business, they're able to pass on a more affordable shipping to us, which we pass right on to our customers. We don't mark shipping up. We don't charge handling. It's it's very, very simple, $8.99 a bottle to ship it, which if you look up shipping costs, it's about right on par with everything else in that category. And the only thing that is required is someone 21 years or older has to sign for the product. They will not deliver it unless there's someone with a proper ID available to sign for it. And that is a legal requirement, and we stand by that 100%, as do our shippers.
Carol, while I'm thinking about it, if I go online, can I order it and have it shipped somewhere else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All the states that allow alcohol sales to be shipped in, which there's 29 states in the U.S. that allow that. They're all listed on our website. So if the law allows us to ship it, we ship it. So you can go on, order it. I've done it myself to ship up to friends and family for birthdays and anniversaries, and hey, I'm thinking about you, or people that you just want to ship it to. It's right there, and you can send it off to them and surprise them with a little gift. Just make sure somebody's home to sign for it. That's the only clarification.
I'm just thinking of Christmas is coming up. What do you get somebody who's already got every freaking thing? What do you get them? They've got everything. I'm just this one particular person I'm thinking of. They've got everything. I don't know what else to get them, so I'm thinking about that. Send them one of those bottles. I know they don't have that, and I know they would enjoy
that would be
it. So,
awesome.
That's just something that's why I was asking, if you can ship it, if I can buy it and ship it somewhere else, that's great. I'll make it a Christmas present for him. All right, my dear, it's that time. We've run out of time so quickly. Is what happens when we have somebody that we're enjoying our conversation with. It just kind of flies by. So I want to give Carolyn a chance to say goodbye to you. I want to say thank you for taking the time. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for working with other women as well. Women are a vital component of our fishing community here, and the more women we get involved, the more guys will get involved. So I'm a firm believer in supporting as many women as we can. And God bless you. Wish you an awesome day, regardless of the weather. Or where you're at, you're having a great day. Or over here, we're having a sloppy day. So I'll let Carolyn say goodbye to you. We'll go to a quick break, and we'll be back.
Carol, can't wait to see you and give you a big hug and get those fish pictures to me today.
All right, November 7th. That's our next tournament. We'll see you then.
See you then. Can't wait.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Schol Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning, good morning. If you're just joining us, we will have a link set up on the Fishing in Florida Show on Facebook. Go to Facebook, find Fishing in Florida, give us a like while you're there. It makes us relevant in the searches, and you'll find a link to our archives, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff there as well. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend Carolyn over there at Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Thank you, Riscala. I wouldn't miss it, as always.
And it looks like we have Trey West with D&D Tackle, I think it is. Is that you, Trey?
Big dog.
Me.
Oh, Big Dog Tackle. I'm sorry. Yeah. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
You're a little weak. Let me turn you up a little bit. Can you hear him okay, Carolyn?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So Trey is a last-minute call-in because he has so much cool stuff coming up in the next 3 weeks. I wanted to make sure Big Dog could tell us all about it. And,
all right.
So thanks for calling in last minute, Trey.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Love being on the show. You guys are awesome.
So what are you going to share with us this morning?
Well, so we have a bunch of stuff coming up. We have our annual Big Dog Tackle fishing tournament called the Kingfish Battle.
Oh, wow.
And all our tournaments that we do, they all go to raise funds to donate to charities. So this particular one, we are looking to raise some money for a charity called First Responders Children's Foundation. So what they do is they support families where they've lost a family member, a first responder in the line of duty, and when they meet financial hardships, they come in to save the day. and they also provide scholarships for the kids too.
Now, how awesome is that? So how do we get?
It's unbelievable, right?
How does someone get involved in that?
Oh, so we have our fishing tournament that's coming up on November 14th, which is right around the corner. And we already have over 20 boats, which is for early entry. That's pretty good for the first year of doing it. And we're expecting about 60 boats. And a lot of the money from that is going to go towards writing a nice check to the First Responders Children's Foundation. Also, if anybody wants to donate or contribute or donate raffle items, we'll take those too. And Carolyn is also a sponsor with Atlas Trax. She always helps out. We all help each other. And one of the really cool events that we're doing is, so November 14th is the tournament. The Wednesday before, we are doing a charity kids fishing trip on the American Patriot long range boat down in Dania Beach. So we're going to get the kids on the boat, take them out for the day, and have a good time fishing with the kids.
Awesome.
Right, tell me that's not amazing. And here's what else is really, really cool for the tournament. So normally we're in the Pompano Beach area and tournaments go out of the Hillsborough Inlet. Trey has set it up so that you can actually fish out of the Palm Beach Inlet too. So for the ladies team, that's perfect because we can fish on Real Captivating out of Sailfish Marina, and there's 2 weigh-ins, which hopefully will get more boats into this tournament.
So how do we help promote it?
Yeah, just spread the word so anybody that you know is fishing. We have actually a website. It's called BigDogTournaments.com, where everything is posted there, all of our tournaments, and this particular tournament is there, and the rules and the registration and the links there, they're all there. Also on Facebook, under Big Dog Tackle, it is listed as one of our events as well. So very, very cool stuff coming up. And let me tell you, I think Riscala, you're a veteran yourself?
That's correct.
Yeah, so you're gonna find it pretty cool. My family is grandfather's grandmother, uncle in the Air Force, also firemen in the family. And so the boat that we're going on is called the American Patriot. It's a 135-foot boat, 30 feet wide.
Holy smokes!
It's a long range vessel, so it sleeps 38 people.
Oh my goodness!
And so we can fit a lot of people on it to go fishing.
Holy
but
smokes.
The really, really cool part about it is this boat was taken over by Ralph Hawkins out of Dania Beach, and he has totally redone the entire boat. This boat was one of the boats that took people out of New York during 9/11.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. How cool is that? Well, you keep
great.
saying boat. That's not a boat.
That's a ship.
That is a serious yacht or a ship, a miniature ocean liner. Gosh. Wow.
Right.
And
so Trey, how would someone make a reservation, like a kid, to get on that boat? Are you guys full? How would someone get their kid on that boat?
Yeah, just tell them to call me at Big Dog Tackle, and they can just call the store, and we'll figure it out to make arrangements.
Is there a cost for the how much? Do you know how much it's going to cost for the anglers or for the kids? Or
no, it's not. So what we're doing is we're taking the kids of the fallen first responders out. So if anybody knows a family that has had that situation, definitely have them reach out to me.
Right. We can even, Rascala, put a post on our Fishing in Florida Facebook page.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of writing notes as you're asking him questions, so I can put something up. We'll put up a post today.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's some of the cool stuff that we love doing over here. Is that all our tournaments, any tournaments we do, we don't profit off of any of the tournaments. All the money goes directly to the charities.
See, that's what's awesome about the fishing community. It's just really one of the things that helps kind of give me hope, if you will. And that is we have a whole community of people willing to work with each other. Bruce said it very well. Even though we may have different political views, we're willing to come together over this, something that we find is vital in our lives, is important in our lives. Again, with something like what we're talking about now, with this particular tournament, you go out, you enjoy yourself, and the money that you pay is going to help somebody else. It's a win-win situation. Personally, I can't think of a better equation. Everybody wins. Why do I support where everybody wins? Because it's kind of selfish in a way. I'm part of everybody. And when you provide a win-win situation, I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want to help promote that. We'll do what we can to get the word out. What did you say? It was BigDogTournaments.com is on the website. And then Big Dog Tackle, what, on Facebook?
On Facebook, it's one of our events listed.
That way,
right, and
go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, let's also remind the listeners that Trey and Nicole, they actually run Big Dog Tackle, which is an amazing tackle store that's open 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day. Trey, and you can go get bait. You can have your rods taken care of. If you don't know how to fish and you'd like to learn, they'll take the time and show you and tell you what you need. So another local small business that's reaching out on his free time, just like Bruce and myself and everybody else that's trying to help the community. So, another tackle store to go support.
Awesome. Where's Big Dog? Where's it located?
Yeah, we're over in Pompano Beach on US 1. Very close to the 14th Street Causeway boat ramp, Alsdorf Park. And we are open 7 days a week at 6 o'clock in the morning until about 8 o'clock at night. And we're always happy to see our friends come in and visit us.
See, that is somebody that is committed. Either they're committed or need to be committed. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Exactly.
No, truly. This is, again, a testament to a small business. This is what we face as small business owners. We know what it's going to take to provide services or products for our customers, and we're willing to walk that path. It's I can't imagine working 7 days a week, doing all those hours. I worked retail many, many years ago, and it was for a company called Radio Shack. And I only survived 3 years of that, and I wasn't working 7 days a week. And I wasn't working the hours that you were working. I was working some pretty long hours. I was working 6 days a week and roughly about 12 hours every day. But after 3 years, I wasn't working for me either. I was working for somebody else. But it wore me out. So it takes a special kind of person. It really does take commitment to do what you're doing. That's a tremendous amount of hours every week to be shared by one family. The advantage of dealing with a tackle store like this is they give back. See, this is what I think a lot of people don't recognize this. They just see the dollar that they spend. Well, I'm going to spend $1 with Trey, or I'm going to spend 95 cents with some big corporation, and they don't realize that 5 cents between the two of them can make a whole big difference when it comes to our community, because they're giving back to the community. And I don't mean just that single 5 cents. I mean when it's done over and over and over again, it adds up. And that's what I'm trying to get across to people. When you're spending your money with a small family-owned, locally owned company, a lot of that money is going back into so you're actually, it's like with the fishing tournament. You go fishing, you're enjoying yourself. But the money that you pay to get in the tournament is going to help other people. So you're enjoying yourself. You have an option. You may win something on top of it all before it's all over, but you're out there enjoying yourself. The money that you paid to be in the tournament goes to help other people. You win, they win. Who loses? Somebody tell me who loses in that picture. I can't find one.
And for another thing in Trey's back pocket too, and correct me if I'm wrong, Trey, you're a licensed marine insurance broker.
Oh.
Yeah, correct.
I didn't know that.
It's funny because in the fishing business, you realize that a lot of people, and it's great because Riscala, you hit on a good point, is it takes a lot to work every day and do that. But when you love something, it doesn't seem like work all the time.
Yeah.
But what I've realized in the fishing business, if you look at all these lure companies or these tackle companies, you'd be surprised because you've seen these names for years and years and years, and you think they're big corporations. But when you actually realize what's going on, sometimes it's just two guys working out of their garage. So everybody has a side job when they're in the fishing world.
That's a good point.
And the firefighting world too, Trey. You know, everyone. We got three firefighters in our family. Everyone has a side gig.
That is true.
Too.
Oh, awesome.
I think it's because of the hours that they work. It gives them the opportunity to do something else as well. So that is true. Wow. Okay, so I've got BigDogTournaments.com, and we've got Big Dog Tackle on Facebook. Anywhere else we can look, or is that the two areas?
We also have BigDogTackle.com, which should be rolling out here pretty soon, and that will have all our events and all our tournaments there as well.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
I was going to say, I'm so glad you were able to last minute call in, because I could not have relayed all of that information and the charities for that next tournament, which the girls will be fishing, by the way. So I'm happy about that.
Excellent.
And the really cool part is I made the entry fee $199. So it's very inexpensive. A lot of people think that, it's going to cost so much money to be in a tournament. You know, you go out fun fishing, and you don't have to be the super competitive person. And I've made it to where it's a big fish tournament. So you catch a big fish, everybody has that lucky day. Anybody could win.
So each of you pitch in $75. Two or three of you get on a boat. Each of you pitch in $75, and you got it covered. And you're having a good time.
You get the girl from Mermaid Vodka, so then you have a really good time.
There you go.
Absolutely, Carol. We love our Carol. She always comes with her Mermaid, so that's perfect. So
awesome.
We got to get some Mermaid Vodka and as a sponsor too for your tournament. So that's funny, Trey. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Trey. Thank you so much for taking time to call in. Wish you an awesome day, my friend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
See you this week. I'll pop in and say hi.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Trey.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Schol Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
WCET Radio, station ID.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. I just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show, final segment. Thank you for taking time to share with us this morning. I hope that you're having as much fun as I am. I'd like to be out somewhere fishing today, but on this side of the state, it's kind of sloppy. I don't know what's going on with regard to the weather. It appears to be some disturbed weather to the west of us here on the East Coast, and it happens to be, to the east of us here on the East Coast, and it happens to be moving in a western direction. So that means the majority of the day is going to look pretty much like what I'm looking at outside. It doesn't look very good. But that's all right. There's a whole lot of other things we can do today. All right, let me welcome back my co-host. That is Carolyn. Carolyn is with Atlas Trax. If you want to protect what you love to the max, who are you going to call? Carolyn, over at Atlas Trax. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Rascala.
And let me get Miss Angelia on now. The next lady that comes on is also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. If you are down in the Keys and you want somebody to show you how to catch fish, or even if you know how to catch fish, but you want somebody to show you where to catch the fish, this is the person you want to talk to. Welcome, Miss Angelia.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Angelia. Did you just check that text I sent you on one of your boat rides the other day? It looks to you like you were a little lost.
No, I was a little busy. That's like 5 trips.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Yeah, I was a little busy, that's all. And I'm a creature of habit. You're right on track, Rascala. The weather is not good this week. Of course, I have a little bit of time off this week with the tourism dying down just a little down here in the Keys. It's that time of year anyway. But yeah, the weather's terrible this week. The winds are supposed to get up to 20 knots. The chop on the ocean side is supposed to be 5 foot most of the week. It's sloppy. And I've already been rained on this morning. So the next week of weather is not promising. But the fishing has been fantastic. The grouper are coming in like crazy for everybody. And they're even coming in on the head boats. When things are coming in the head boats, you know they're out there and they're plentiful.
Wow.
So, and it's pretty uncommon to catch a lot of the black grouper. From my personal experience, are mostly up on the central west coast of Florida. But lately down here, they've been pulling in some keeper black grouper and some keeper gags, and that's really, really promising. So I'm really excited about getting out there and doing some fishing. And like I told you, the sailfishers are still out there like crazy. The good thing about this weather and this little cold front, this little wind and weather front that's coming through, is it'll bring in those sailfish and those wahoo for us even heavier. So I'm not going to complain about it for the next week. And in the meantime, I hate to be redundant, but it's been absolutely beautiful down here. The manatees are still migrating down in very large numbers.
How cool
I got
is that?
kind of stuck in a boat the other day. And a few of them surfaced around me, so I threw her right in neutral and sat there. And before you knew it, I had about 50 manatees around me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a little late coming back because there was no way I was turning the engines back on. You know, I'm very, very careful, and I love these animals so much. And another unusual thing that we spotted the other day, we see pods of dolphins, very big pods of dolphins, all the time on the bay side of the island. And the other day, we saw them just acting in the most unusual of ways, and it kind of gave us a little chuckle because we figured it out pretty quick. They almost looked like they were fighting in the water. We all know the dolphins don't fight with each other, but they were kind of smacking together and doing a lot of rolling and a lot of tail smacks and slapping together. Well, they're out there mating, and it didn't take us long to figure it out. But what an interesting thing to see a big pod of 20 dolphins, and they're just all kind of thrashing in the water together, and they're mating.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to springtime when we have a bunch of babies coming around, you know. But yeah, it's been really exciting down here, besides the weather this week.
Yeah, we have. Go ahead.
I was going to say, since tourism has slowed down a little bit, and I was capitalizing on that due to 3 months, you know, off for the quarantine, which was not very fun. But yeah, I'm really excited to book a bunch of charters for this fall. Fall fishing is always my favorite. And anybody who does want to get out there and go chase some wahoo or some blackfin tuna or some sailfish, please get in touch with me on social media or text me on my phone at 813-610-0078. Because now that the season is slowing down a little bit, I've got more time to capitalize and do the things that I want to do, which is charter fishing.
Yeah, we have small craft advisories here. I don't know if they're down there as well, but all up and down our area, we have small craft advisories up until tomorrow evening, I believe it is. So we're not.
I think ours is probably through Friday.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna. Yeah, the wind is just gonna pick up and up and up, and of course I was out in a small boat most of yesterday with a small craft advisory. They say good seas never made a good sailor, right? Or calm seas never made a good sailor. But yeah, it's just gonna get worse and worse for us down here in the Keys. So whatever wind we're looking at now, we're looking at it getting way worse, way windier, way wetter this week, and just not a good week to go fishing, not a good week to be on the water. It stirs everything up where it's not very clear, and you can't see things as well, and it's just not fun. It beats you up out there on the water when it's rough.
And, Angelia, are you getting your hydrosport out? Is that what you're going to go out and do
Yes.
charter fishing in?
Absolutely. I'm very excited to put her back in the water and be ready to rock. And yeah, I was really hoping this week I could get out and do some fishing with the weather coming through like this. Like I said, it usually brings the sailfish in, which just excites the heck out of me. But yes, the 33-foot hydrosport, she gets offshore real nice. She's a really nice ride and really fun to fish off of. If that boat could tell stories, it would be really fun. She's seen a lot of action in her days. But yes, very excited to start booking some charters for this fall.
Yeah, and I can tell you that for our listeners, if anyone wants to charter you, I personally have a 33 hydrosport myself. And it is, for folks that might be a little nervous, it's a very stable boat. It doesn't rock. It's very dry. There's comforts on there for seating and fresh water and toilets. So, don't be, for those that might be a little nervous about going out all day on a boat, yours is the perfect boat to go out on.
It is the absolute perfect open fisherman style boat that I've ever come across. I was just flattered that you also have one, Carolyn, because what a sweet boat that is. And like you said, it rides beautiful. It's very stable. It's nice and big where you don't feel like you're cramped. I usually keep my fishing trips down to 4 people just because with a captain and a mate and 4 people, you've got a full boat, in my opinion. But yeah, it's very, very comfortable, very safe, and a very nice ride. So, and with twin 350s, I can make it out, 16 miles out to the hump in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. So it's pretty nice to scoot around the island. That's for darn sure.
Well, whatever.
It's a fishing machine.
Whatever this is that is to the east of us here, that is moving in a westerly direction, has now moved over where I'm at, and I'm not only am I seeing it on the radar, I'm seeing it outside my window. Some pretty strong thunderstorms coming through at this point, and it looks like it's going to be like that for the rest of the day. So it may not be a day that you can go out there and enjoy, but certainly a day that you can take care of your equipment. If you're somebody that fishes on a regular basis, would be the day to do maintenance. Get out there and oil them, clean them, whatever you got to do to them, and get ready for the next. This isn't going to last long. We know that, especially here in in the summer. It may be fall in other places, but it's still summer here. And we have 2 seasons here in Florida. We have hot and hotter. Right now we're moving from hotter into the hot, but it's still summer, and so it won't last long. It'll be over, and then you can get back out there on the ocean and enjoy it. All right, we're running out of time quickly. Carolyn, anything else you want to add in?
No, I just can't wait to see more a dolphin. Did you catch any dolphin yet?
No, and I'm determined. So let this weather go away, Carolyn, and I'm going to go chase those babies down. I tell you what, they've been up on the reef in numbers, in size. So you don't even have to go too far. You don't have to go into depth. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Wow.
Good. I'll keep my eyes out. Stay in touch. Have a great Sunday, tight lines, and catch them up.
Thank you, Carolyn. Same to you.
Angelia, there's several different ways people can reach you. You said your phone number a little while ago. That was 813-610-0078. How else can they reach you?
You can reach me on social media on Facebook or on Instagram. And if you want to get me quick, please text me. I'm terrible about listening to messages. So, please shoot me a text, and I'll get right back with you, or send me any kind of message on social media, and I'll get right back with you. So looking forward to taking some people out fishing and get our fish on for sure.
Well, I wish you the best, my dear. An awesome day, regardless of the weather. Thanks again. It is always an honor to have you on and share with us. I envy you. You're down there in an area that I just love dearly. I need to get back down there. I miss it so much. Hopefully, it'll be soon. Thank you. Wish you an awesome day.
Good day, everybody.
Headlines.
All right, Miss Carolyn, thank you for being co-host this morning. Greatly appreciate it, and wish you an awesome day. I know it's about the same where you are, where I'm at. So we'll find something to keep us busy. You know what? At least you can sneak out back if you get really, if you have the desire, you could sneak out back and maybe with an umbrella or something and do some fishing.
Well, yeah, it's not raining here right now, but I'll tell you what, it's a king tide, so the tide was almost to the dock the other day, and I might get out there, and I do always have my hot dogs in the refrigerator. You know that.
All right, everybody, thank you for taking time to share with us this morning. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back in a week. God bless.